Hey, it's Maria Santiago once again. You know you missed you some me. Ready for another story? Too bad, because I'm going to tell you one anyway. This one I call The Shadow of Love. James first noticed something was wrong when he found the flowers on his doorstep. Red roses, Sarah's favorite, with a note written in familiar looping handwriting. I miss the way you used to bring these to me. He immediately threw them in the garbage, his hands shaking as he slammed the lid shut. It had been 8 months since their explosive breakup, since he'd finally escaped her suffocating obsession with controlling every aspect of his life. The flowers were just the beginning. The next day, his co-workers gave him odd looks when he arrived at the office. Your girlfriend seemed really upset this morning, said Monica from accounting. She was crying in the lobby, saying you wouldn't answer her calls. James felt his stomach drop. I don't have a girlfriend. Oh? Dark hair, green eyes? She said her name was Sarah? He called building security immediately, but Sarah was long gone. That night, he double-checked all his locks and drew the curtains tight, jumping at every creak and shadow. Sleep proved elusive as memories of their relationship flooded back, how she'd gradually isolated him from friends and family, her explosive anger when he talked to other women, the time she'd accidentally broken his phone because she was convinced he was cheating. The weekend brought relative peace, though he could have sworn he saw her car parked down the street. By Monday, he'd almost convinced himself he was being paranoid. Then, he opened his email at work to find hundreds of messages from different addresses, all from her. Some were pleading, please just talk to me. Others were darker, you'll never be happy without me. The last one made his blood run cold. If I can't have you, no one will. It blocked the emails, but Sarah found other ways. She created social media accounts in his deceased mother's name, sending him messages that brought tears to his eyes, until he realized who was really behind them. She somehow got his new phone number and called from spoofed numbers at all hours. Sometimes she just breathed into the phone. Sometimes she cried. Sometimes she screamed. The police were sympathetic but unhelpful. Without direct threats or evidence of stalking, they said there wasn't much they could do. They suggested he document everything and file for a restraining order, a process that would take weeks. One night, he woke to the sound of his phone buzzing. A text from an unknown number. You look peaceful when you sleep. His heart pounding, he ran to the window. In the street below, a familiar figure stood under the streetlight, looking up at his apartment. When she saw him, she waved. He moved apartments the following week, telling no one his new address. For a blessed month, there was silence. He began to relax, to breathe easier. He even accepted when his colleague Jennifer asked him to grab coffee. The date went well. Jennifer was funny and kind, nothing like Sarah. As they left the cafe, James felt hopeful for the first time in months. Then he saw the look of horror on Jennifer's face as she checked her phone. James, I just got these emails. She showed him her screen, dozens of messages, all from different addresses, all containing private details about Jennifer's life, her daily routine, her address, pictures of her coming and going from her apartment. The final message was simple. Stay away from him. Jennifer apologized, but James understood when she said she couldn't see him again. The next day, his apartment door was covered in photographs. Hundreds of them, showing him at work, at the grocery store, at the cafe with Jennifer. In the center was a collage of old photos from his relationship with Sarah, arranged in the shape of a heart. He called the police again, and this time they took him seriously. But Sarah had vanished. Her apartment was empty, her phone disconnected. She'd quit her job weeks ago. She was a ghost, everywhere and nowhere. That night, he lay awake in bed, jumping at every sound. His phone buzzed. Another unknown number. With trembling fingers, he opened the message. I forgive you for trying to replace me. I know you still love me. You'll see that soon. We're meant to be together forever, James. I'll make sure of it. He blocked the number, knowing it was futile. In the darkness, he heard a key turning in his front door, the spare key he'd never gotten back from Sarah. As footsteps approached his bedroom, he realized with horror that she'd been right about one thing. They would be together forever, but not in the way she imagined. The bedroom door slowly creaked open. "Welcome home, my love," Sarah whispered.